Most paranormal encounters involve seeing something. Time slips are different. You don't see a creature, you don't hear a voice. You just realize, too late, that time itself is wrong. You either arrive too early, or you leave too late, or you come back, and the world has moved on without you. One of the most famous time slip cases occurred in 1901, witnessed by two educated women, Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, both academics. While visiting the Palace of Versailles, they wandered into the gardens, and everything changed. They described a sudden silence and unnatural stillness, and they experienced people wearing 18th century clothing and a woman sketching near a cottage, later believed to resemble Marie Antoinette. The environment felt heavy, oppressive, and wrong. When they left the area, modern sounds returned instantly. Years later, their account matched historical layouts that had not been public knowledge at the time. They later published their experience under pseudonyms. Also, in July 1996, Frank, a retired police officer, was walking along Bold Street in Liverpool. He stepped into a record store. Inside, everything felt just off. There was old signage and staff in outdated clothing, no modern branding, and music equipment that hadn't been sold in decades. Frank left the store confused. Outside, the street was suddenly filled with 1950s vehicles. Then, moments later, the environment snapped back to normal. Years later, Frank discovered the record store he entered had existed in that exact location in the 1950s, but not in 1996. Multiple witnesses have since reported similar Bold Street time slips, all independently of each other. One of the strangest alleged cases involves Rudolph Fentz, reported in New York City. In the late 1800s, witnesses saw a man appear suddenly in traffic, wearing outdated clothing. He was struck and killed by a vehicle. After the fact, on him were found old bills which were no longer in circulation, a business card from a company that didn't exist, and a letter dated 50 years earlier. Research later suggested a man named Rudolph Fentz disappeared decades earlier under mysterious circumstances. Whether mythologized or not, these cases reflect a common pattern. People appearing out of the wrong time, with no understanding of how they arrived. Across cases, patterns emerge: sudden silence before the slip, environmental distortion, physical fatigue afterwards, emotional unease, but no sense of danger, just wrongness. People don't feel chased or harassed, they just feel out of place. Some common theories involve parallel timelines, such as two realities briefly overlapping, or a localized time distortion where environmental conditions allow time to just fold in on itself. Another theory is non-human interaction, not travel through space, but through time. Time slips don't happen in haunted places. They happen in tourist sites, or in city streets or shops, or even roads you've driven 100 times. Which means you don't need to go looking for one. You might already be standing in the wrong place, or at the wrong time.